Okay, so we're live again. I don't know what happened. Okay, cool. So where we were was containing it. So we need to. I'm searching and searching for answers. So what I want you to do instead of blasting us, because often we kind of blast the audience. I've done that for years. We want to pull the audience in. Every line. Actually, that was not good at all. Some kind of sign when you were mine. So I want you to experiment. Imagine you're holding it in like a little ball. The world seemed to burn. So go into your chest voice, or like just like you're crying, like, like, can you feel that? Versus, the best singers in the world, have you noticed? They're the ones who make you feel. A lot, there's so many talented singers out there. They can sing well. Have you ever noticed someone can sing well, but they don't make you feel anything? And then there are some singers who don't have that great of a voice, but they make you feel. That's how you're going to get hired. That's how people are going to want to listen to you the most, is when you make people feel. So when you sing from here, that's how people often, they're like, how does that actress who sings burn? How does she get people? How does she sing so emotional? How does she get us to weep so much at her words? It's because she is singing from her core. Okay, so let's try that together. Can you go like this? Go, and it might sound funny. You might want to go, that's chest. Right? Even like, remember previous videos singing from your, from your pelvic floor? I'm, right? Look at those previous videos, because that's good. How to sing from your pelvic floor, that is power. So let's try that. Let's try a m. So I want you to go like this. See how I'm singing right in the front of my face? I'm not going That's easy. That's in the throat. Put a hand right here. Jam it in the front of your face on your hand. Ah, my whole face was vibrating. So with this we're doing what we've worked on in the past with covering. Remember covering? Covering is it's like you're putting a hat on it, or some kind of a lampshade. Versus that's all Ariana Grande does. Like she goes, I should be wiser, baby, that's what I got. Like that's what she does. She doesn't go, I should be wiser. So we're doing this cover where it's kind of like you're jumping over a hump. You're aiming the sound here. It's kind of like this pillow. So you're putting you're putting all the pressure here. So let's try that. We're going to compress it. Do it from your belly in like a cry. And then you're going to grow it. The best singing, especially with Broadway, you're telling a story. You have to start really small. Otherwise, if you start the song really big, it won't have an emotional reaction, right? People might be impressed at first, but then it'll get really old. So what I want you to do is, so how does it start? So, I'm rereading the letters you wrote me. Right? It's pretty small. So even at the beginning, maybe that's even too much. I'm rereading the letters you wrote me. Right? I'm rereading the letters you wrote me. So I start on top in my middle voice. I'm rereading wrote me. And with that one, I start going under again. I'm searching and searching for answers in every line, for some kind of sign of when you were mine. And then we're going to do a jaw drop. Boom. Do you know, right? Or if I want to go, do you know what Angelica said? Now see how I didn't go, what an? I said, what Angelica? Ma. The secret with this ma is that you put it in the face and it's not going mama. Where people get into trouble is that it starts to sound shouty. What an, right? What Angelica said when she saw your first letter arrive. She said, Be careful with that one, love. She will do what it takes to survive. Now we're going to do something called the jaw drop. I know all this is crazy stuff, so I'm going really fast. This is like a tutorial. I'm not going to go into depth with all this. This is for people who have been singing for years and for new singers who just want to kind of dip their feet in. I'm not going into depth, but a lot of the time, remember the shape is really important, so this is the shape we want to do. I want you to drop your jaw. You and your words flooded my senses. Your palaces. I'm making all this stuff up. I should look at the words. You build me palaces out of paragraphs. Oh my gosh, I need to get the words. Might have redeemed you. I am making up the words. All right. Oh, here we go. All right. So, you know what? I'm just going to take you through how I would do it. I haven't really sung this through ever, so I'm just kind of winging it. But, so from the beginning, we're going to start. I saved every letter you wrote me from the moment. Right, so we've kind of gone through that part. I read them. I knew you were mine. You said you were. Okay. That's the part. You said you were mine. I thought you were mine. That actually might even be too much. So, do you know what Angelica said when we saw your first letter arrive? So see what I'm doing is I'm like, I know it's not the best singing. I'm not really warmed up. But see how I'm kind of peppering in head voice that is silently supported versus with a little bit of support in the beginning. I'm not going full out first. Do you know what Angelica said when we first saw your first letter arrive? And then I go under a little bit for that kind of knife in there. She said, be careful with that one, love. I'm really starting to engage. He will do what it takes to survive. So I'm slowly building it, but the funny thing is, and make comments below if you're enjoying this. I love going live with you guys. So if you have questions or if you're agreeing with this or if you're like, I don't know what's happening, just make a comment because I love being part of this with you guys. With each one, we're engaging a little bit more in the belly. Now, it's actually way harder to be small and controlled than it is to just let it out. That's easy. You and your words flooded my senses. Now I'm starting to get angry, right? She's starting to get a little bit angry. Your sentences left me defenseless. You built me palaces out of paragraphs. You built cathedrals. And see how that got caught in my throat? I haven't sung this song through. So you're going through with me for the first time, and we're doing this together. You built cathedrals. That jaw drop really helped me. I'm rereading the letters you wrote me. Now I'm getting a little stronger. I'm searching and scanning for answers in every line, for some kind of sign of when you were mine. Right? She's dropping it. The world seemed to burn. Right? I'm gonna just let it go. No one's out right now. I can just be as loud as I want. Burn! And just let it be really raw, right? And if I know you guys we're all in quarantine, so if your parents are in the next room or your lover or whatever, your lover, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, I know it might be kind of, self-conscious, but just let it out, right? Burn, because if you hold anything in burn, trying to be small, it's gonna get caught, right? Now, here we go. She's starting to amp it up. So this is where the emotional context of the song comes in. This is where you start to get a little stronger. So, right? So if I go, what helps to me when I want to put all that tension in and engage is to kind of push in my hand. You published the letters she wrote you. You told the whole world how you brought this girl into our bed. And clearing your name, you have ruined our lives. Right? Do you know what Angelica said? So yeah, basically same thing I've been doing, dropping the jaw. You have married an Icarus. He has flown too close to the sun. Okay, now she's starting to belt. You and your words, blood obsessed with your legacy. Your sentences border on senseless. But see, I'm going senseless. If you start going senseless, I'm like spitting on myself. The energy has to go down. And you are, and it has to go hand. And I know you guys might be watching this going, oh, she looks weird, or oh, I totally get it. But when you go through it yourself, it's usually really hard to drop your jaw. So if you're struggling, like, it keeps going up, and you are paranoid. It might be kind of challenging, but literally, do it like you're like paranoid in every paragraph. And you are paranoid in every paragraph, how they perceive you. Right? She gets that, that thing. I kind of did this cry in my belly, almost like I'm playing someone who's just lost their child, or like, you know, like your dog, you lost your dog, and it's like this guttural sound, right? So you got to really dig into that pain. You don't have to feel pain. That's the thing. Like, if you're an actual professional actor, you know this. You can't night after night spill your heart and soul. It's exhausting, right? So you got to get used to doing it without being so emotional. Otherwise, it's going to just drain you. So I wasn't feeling anything. It's just I was singing from here. Yeah? Cry. You. Oh, I'm so mad. And then now, this is where it changes. I'm racing, but we still want a lot of support. So what we want to do is sing it. Remember, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. The way you start the song is the way you finish the song. That's where most of us get into trouble. Most of us, we start the song however we want, it's easy, and then at the end, oh no, here comes the high note. That's when we really want to pay attention. The hardest thing is actually paying attention to the beginning, because that's the way you're going to finish the song. So, I'm racing. We're about to get into some major belt territory, so we're going to have to start high, but grounded in a belt. Does that make sense? Like, I'm erasing myself from the narrative. See how I'm erasing myself from the narrative. Let future historians wonder how Eliza reacted when you broke her heart. Right? I started in the smallest belt. It sounded like I was coming from up here, but it came from here. That's where most of us go wrong with the song, is I'm erasing myself from the narrative. Let future historians wonder how Eliza. See how it just shifts? Start under. You have torn it all apart and I'm watching it. Now I'm just kind of, I'm letting it explode in just a guttural, raw sound, raw pain. And I'm watching you torn it all apart and I'm watching it burn. Right? Burn. Right? The world has no right to my heart. The world, now here's where it's gonna go. The world has no right to my heart. Remember my past videos on like singing from your look at my past videos on like singing like Marilyn Monroe, singing from your pelvic floor, from your hips, from your butt. It needs to be, the energy needs to be all the way down here. The issue we get into is the world has no right to my heart. The world, does that get stuck up here? That's where most of us go, get stuck. So look at those previous videos on how to get there, but I'm sending the energy down. I'm pushing down. Sometimes it helps for me to push down off of something to imagine the sound down. The world has no right to my heart. The world has no place in our bed. They don't get to know what I said, right? I said. My voice is kind of tired. I've been doing a lot of lessons this week. I'm burning the memories, burning the letters that might have redeemed you, right? And then you forfeit. Okay, so this part. Remember in the last video? Right? So you can see I'm kind of cracking a little. I've never sung this song before, so I need to work on it. But see how that's pretty middle voicey? So, all right, here it goes. We'll see how I do. But remember how the shape matters. I'm going to drop my jaw. He'll forfeit gets to my heart, right? He'll forfeit the place in our bed. He'll sleep in your office instead. I'm doing it in like a very light yell. With only the memories of when you were mine. Whoa. And then at the end, I hope that you burn. See how that's like in her belly? I hope that you burn. And like with a microphone, it's a lot easier to hear that pick up. But I know that I know that some of that was kind of all over the place, but did you hear that? That was really comfortable. So despite some of the bumps I may have had, all of this is really, really comfortable, really healthy in the face. So yeah, this was super fun. Let me know if you have any questions. Oh, hey Sophie. Yes, it is Hamilton. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I'm gonna stop just because that was a lot and that was super fun. I'm gonna post both videos to Instagram right now. So much fun. As always, DM me or send me an email or comment below if you have any questions. Lovely, lovely job, you guys. Check out my other videos for building your middle voice and all those things. Since this is a practice that takes time, this was only a little bit of this training. And have a beautiful day. Stay safe. Big hugs and kisses. Bye. Oh, here we go. Turning it off.